Today we're going to take a tour of Dreher Island State Park campgrounds. Dreher Island State Park is on Lake Murray in South Carolina, just outside of Columbia. There are two halves to this campground. The first 30 sites are open year-round. The rest are closed in the wintertime. The first 30 campsites are on a much smaller loop than the rest, and this is a much tighter campsite or campground than the rest. So we have the campground host on the left up on the hill, and that is site 2. Site 1 is this pull through. Somebody's gotten a large fifth wheel in, kind of hemmed in around the trees, but it's a fairly level site with a view of the lake. Site 3 is also a pull through, decent outdoor area, nice access to the lake. You are right on the road. Site 4 is a back in. It is uphill all the way in. Pretty easy access to the site. Not too big of an outdoor area, but a good bit of space behind the site. Site 5 is a back in, and pretty easy access. A little bit of slope down on the driver's side, but not much. Actually a pretty large outdoor area for this campground. Good access to the water. And site 6 is occupied. It is uphill all the way in. And a pretty hard turn to get in, but not too terribly bad. Not a bad outdoor area. Site 7 is not occupied, but we got some fishermen in here fishing, but it's a level site, kind of bumpy getting in. Not a bad outdoor area. Hey guys. Good access to the water. Site 8 has a back in, uphill all the way in. The site itself's not too bad, but the drive in is uphill. It is downhill to the passenger side a little bit. Decent outdoor area. Site 9 is back in. Pretty flat through the whole site. A little downhill, but not much. Not a bad outdoor area. Getting right on the water. Site 10 is a back in, a little bit of downhill into the site. Once you're all the way in, it's pretty level. There is a tree on the driver's side that's pretty close. A decent outdoor area, easy access to the water. 11 is on the inside of the loop. It is uphill all the way in. The site's still got a little bit of uphill, but it's better. And a small outdoor area, but it is getting close to the bathhouse. Site 12 is an easy back in. A little bit of downhill all the way in. Nice size outdoor area, easy access to the water. Okay, site 13 is a back in. Kind of tight off the road to back up into it. The trees are close to the sides of the site. It is uphill all the way in. Very close to the bathhouse. And these are really nice bathhouses. Nice and clean. A decent outdoor area and not too close to your neighbors. And site 14 is a pull-through. Right on the road, but easy in and easy out. A little bit downhill to the passenger side. Not a bad outdoor area. And easy access down to the water. Okay, site 15 is a back in right at the corner of the road, but it's a short site, so small camper shouldn't be too bad. It is uphill all the way in. Fairly small outdoor area, and kind of looking right out at the road, the loop road. Site 16 is a back in, straight shot off the road into it. A little bit of downhill in, not bad. The trees are kind of close for an awning. Somebody's hit the water already. Not a very big outdoor area, but right next to the water, easy to get to the water. And it's far enough back in here that the site next door really isn't in your sight. And the site next door is site 17. It's an easy back in since somebody was nice enough to get rid of the tree. It's a level site, maybe a little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. Very shaded, easy access to the water, and a decent outdoor area. And right next to what looks like a trail out to the point. And site 18 is a back in. Kind of a tight turn since you're already in the turn of the campground loop. A little uphill all the way in. Trees kind of close, but not too bad. Your outdoor area is right in your next door neighbor's driveway. And site 19 is a back in, pretty much straight shot off the main road. Downhill to the passenger side. There are trees on both sides that may interfere with an awning or a slide. But a decent size designated outdoor area and lots of outdoor space to the water. Okay, that is site 21. That's a pull through. So we'll get out of order and we'll go ahead and do 21, and then we'll go back to 20 that's across the way. So 21 is a pull through. The site's pretty level. It's uphill on the way out. I don't think the trees really will obstruct getting a camper in and out, but it's a little tight. Decent outdoor area, good access to the water. There are trees close to the driveway that might interfere with an awning. Okay, so now we go back to site 20, which is a back in. It's a fairly easy access to it. Nice long site. A little bit of downhill to the passenger side. Open enough to get awnings and slides out without a problem. Not a very big outdoor area, and the outdoor area is right along the road. But I think you still get a view of the lake from the campsite, even if the other sites are occupied. And all this right next to the bathhouse. Site 22 is a short back in. Fairly open site, not a lot of outdoor area, not a very flat outdoor area, but easy access down to the water. And nice and open out to the lake. A nice view out across the lake. At site 23 is a back in. It's a little bit downhill in, but the site itself, once you're down in, is pretty level. Not a very big outdoor area. Still a nice view out onto the lake. And site 24 is a handicap site. This tree makes it a pretty tight back in. It is a lot of cross slope down to the passenger side and uphill all the way in. Not overly handicap accessible. Not a very big outdoor area, and not a whole lot of view if the rest of the campsites are full. At site 25, back in, downhill all the way in. Once you're in the site, it's pretty level. A little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. Decent access down to the water. The designated outdoor area is not very big, but if you put the picnic table down the bottom of the hole, it increases your space. But a bit of a drop off right out of your camper. And site 26 is a back in. Got a tree, several trees right at the corner of the site. Is uphill all the way in. Tree on the driver's side that might interfere with a slide. Fairly large outdoor area for this campground. Again, if the campground's full, not a lot of view of the lake, but right now with empty sites, it's pretty good. Okay, site 27 is a back in. Fairly level site, a little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. That tree should not be in the way of a slide. Decent access down to the water. Not a very big outdoor area, but good access down to the water. Okay, 28 is occupied. It is uphill all the way in, but doesn't appear to have any cross slope. Has a decent outdoor area. Site 29 is a back in, fairly level. About an average outdoor area and still has access to the water. And site 30 is a back in. Pretty easy to get into. It's a little uphill As you come in, the site appears to be pretty level. It actually has a large outdoor area. You're very close to campground host and a nice view of your neighbor's campsite. And apparently at times it's a little loud with the dumpsters being transported, because this is right next to their service area. And here's the dump station as you leave this loop. And that's the end of this loop. I will go over and take a look at the loop over at the rest of the campground, the loop that will be closed for the winter. And that is tent site 1, tent site 2, and the occupied is tent site 3, with parking right here in front of them. Very nice access to the water. All right, campsite 31, back in, easy back in, nice level site. A little downhill in the back of the site, not much of an outdoor area, but very good access to the water. And site 32 is an easy back in. A little bit of downhill all the way in, not bad. Not a very big outdoor area. Easy access to the water. Site 33 is a back in, easy in, a little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. Not much outdoor area, at least up by your camper or your tent, but decent space down by the water. All this in the back of a cove, so not a whole lot of boat traffic. Site 34 is back in, downhill all the way in, but not too bad. Small outdoor area, getting easy access down to the water. Lots of outdoor area down below the site. 35 is occupied up on the hill. Nice view across the street to the water. 36 is also occupied. It is downhill all the way in. Still not much of an outdoor area by the camper, but lots of fairly open wooded space to the water. 37, downhill all the way in. Nice access to the water and a fairly private site, at least on your outdoor area side. All right, and 38 is up on the hill. It's uphill all the way in. And it's a really tight turn to get backed into the site, since you're already making a left-hand turn and the site is on the left. 39 is an easy back in, reasonably level. Still not much of an outdoor area at the campsite, but a bunch down towards the water. 40 is a back in, uphill all the way in. Now we'll pull up in. It's uphill all the way in. Not very private, not a lot of outdoor area. You can see there's a campsite tight on both sides. At 41, it's a fairly level site. It does have trees close on the driver's side. Again, not a very big outdoor area up at the camper, but a lot of room down towards the lake. 42, uphill all the way in. Trees fairly close on the driver's side, and you back right up to your neighbor. And 42 is a fairly easy back in, other than this little wall down at the very bottom of the hill. That's 39 in their outdoor area. 41, this is 43 with the Coleman. Again, not a lot of outdoor area, but the water's close by and it's easy access down to the water. All right, this is site 44, which is a back in, uphill all the way in. And again, it has this little retaining wall for the drainage right at the bottom of the driveway. Tent sites 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the first one on the right is 4, and we have 5 and 6 and 7. All of them nice looking flat pads with a nice view of the lake, easy access to the sites and to the lake, and they all have power and water. With the bathhouse across the street. It's a very nice bathhouse. Has a couple of showers, and the toilets for men and women, and they're both, well, at least the men's side is clean. Looks very nice. And 46 is this one up on the hill. It's pretty easy back in, but it is uphill all the way in. 47, a little bit downhill all the way in, not bad. Trees are kind of close on the side. .48, kind of lumpy getting in. Really lumpy part way up. It's uphill all the way in. Reasonably flat when you get all the way in. Pretty well surrounded by trees. And up in here, your neighbors are all pretty close together. But it's a pretty lumpy driveway. Fairly tight turn to back in. .49. Downhill all the way in, but not bad. Not much of an outdoor area, but plenty of room down below. Let's see. 50 is uphill all the way in. Not occupied, but has a vehicle parked in it. 51. Looks like it's pretty flat all the way. Still not much outdoor area, but easy access down to the water. .52 is an easy back in. A little bit downhill. And I'm sorry, that's 53. That's nice access to the water and not a whole lot of outdoor area. 52 is up on the hill with a neighbor very close by. It's a pretty hard turn to get back into it, but it is uphill all the way in. 54, it's fairly level site, easy in, not a lot of outdoor area, but a whole lot of room down by the lake. 55 is another easy back in, pretty flat all the way, not a lot of outdoor area, but again, plenty of room down at the water. 56, it's a pretty hard turn to back into it, up onto the hill a little bit with your neighbors close by. 57, hey, pretty flat site to get in, easy access, not a lot of outdoor area, but plenty of room down by the water. And 58, easy back in, a little lumpy but reasonably level. Nice view of the lake, nice access to the water, almost no outdoor area, but you do have plenty of room around the site. 59 is a pull through, uphill all the way in, a little tight with the trees to make the turn through, but not too bad. Outdoor area is on the wrong side. Water and power are on the correct side. Uh, 60 is a back in, pretty level all the way in. Still not a lot of outdoor area, but plenty of space down around the lake. 61 is a back in. It's a little downhill all the way in. Outdoor area just big enough for a picnic table, but space down around the water. 62 is a pull through, uphill all the way in, nice open site. Outdoor area is on the correct side, but right out on the road. But looks like a pretty easy in and out. Site 63 is downhill all the way in. Not a lot of outdoor area, and the water's getting to be pretty far down and kind of a rocky bank at the bottom. All right, 64 is fairly level. Easy in. 65 is a little bit downhill all the way in, but easy back in. I can't see the outdoor area, but I think it's probably pretty small, and we're getting way above the water. 66 is an easy back in, pretty level. 67 is an easy back in. These little rock walls can make it hard to get in, but shouldn't be too bad. It's a little downhill all the way in. Not much outdoor area, and your neighbors are pretty close. .68 is back in. Decent amount of cross slope down to the passenger side. It's fairly level, but does fall off back here in the back of the site. And not a lot of outdoor area between you and your neighbor. Site 69 is a back in. Good bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. A little uphill all the way in. Not a whole lot of outdoor area. Pretty good site, but a little tight to back in. And the site 70, that's a handicap site right next to the bathroom. It does have a concrete walk to the bathroom. It's a fairly level site, a little uphill all the way in, but not bad. Not a lot of outdoor area. Site 71 is the campground host. A little uphill all the way in, but an easy access. Site 72 is uphill all the way in, but fairly straight shot off the road. And when we get up to here, we're getting far enough away from the water that you have a little bit of a water view, and that's about it. Tent sites 8, 9, and 10 appear to be fairly well occupied. So I'm not sure which sites are where, but I'm not going back up in there with all those tents that are there. And this is site 72. Looks to be fairly flat, easy access. 70, I'm sorry, that was 73. And 74 is an easy back in. Little cross slope down to the passenger side. And a very small outdoor area, but lots of room down towards the water. Site 75. Pretty easy back in. It is uphill all the way in. A little bit larger outdoor area than most, just based on the lay of the land. Site 76 is an easy back in. A little cross slope down to the passenger side. The site itself is pretty level and not much outdoor area, with water very close by. And site 77, a little bit of a turn to get in. It's uphill all the way. Has one of these fine walls at the very bottom. Uphill all the way in. Kind of lumpy as you come up in. Decent outdoor space, but you are right up against your neighbor. Actually against your neighbor on both sides. And tent sites 11, 12, 13, and 14. All these right out on the water. A nice level pad. Power and water at each one. 14 is really nice all the way out on the point. When the wind's blowing like it is today, it's probably a little blustery out there. Alright, site 78. Fairly easy back in. And the wind over here may get a little loud in the microphone. It's a little bit downhill all the way into the site. Not bad. Outdoor area is tiny, and the water is right here at the campsite. A little bit of outdoor space beside the campsite, but not much. All right, site 79 is a pull through. Reasonably level. A little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side. Decent outdoor area, a little bit of space around the outdoor area. At site 80, kind of a hard turn with these little walls. It's uphill all the way in. Levels out a little bit at the top, but it is still uphill all the way and backs right up to your neighbor's campsite. But a decent outdoor area and a good bit of open space beside your outdoor area. And 81 is a back in. A little bit downhill all the way in, a little bit of cross slope down to the passenger side, and really lumpy back in here in the campsite area. Got a tree pretty close to the side of your camper. And not a very big outdoor area with the water very close. And a little bit of flat-ish ground down below the site. At 82 is a back in, uphill all the way in. Decent amount of space around the site, not a very big outdoor area. '83 is downhill all the way in. Otherwise pretty easy back in site. '84 is back in, uphill all the way in, with the tent back in the woods. I better not go any farther since it is an occupied site. 85 is occupied. It is downhill all the way in. 86 is back in, uphill all the way in. 87 downhill all the way in. Outdoor areas are fairly small still, and we're up above the water a little bit, but looks like pretty good access to the water. 88 is uphill all the way in. Looks like it has a decent outdoor area and a good bit of room around the back of the site. And then we come to the road, to the sidewalk up to the bathhouse. It's up the hill a pretty good ways. Okay, site 89 is being used for a party site. It is downhill all the way in. Not a lot of outdoor area. And we're up above the water a pretty good ways. Site 90 is the campground host, and it is uphill all the way in. 91 is a back in, fairly level all the way through. Not a lot of outdoor area. Again, we're up above the water a pretty good ways. 92 is a pull through. Uphill in, downhill out. Outdoor area is pretty small. Lots of woods behind the site. Alright, so 93 is a back in. Looks to be an easy back in, fairly level all the way through. A little bit downhill all the way in, but not bad. '94 is an easy back in. Nice level site. I can't tell how much outdoor area they have. We do have boat access on this side without rocks on the bank. 95 is an easy back in, a little bit downhill, not much of an outdoor area, and then downhill to the water. And now we have caught the line waiting to go to the dump station. 96, it's a little bit downhill in, but not bad. Way above the water, not a very big outdoor area. We'll see if we can sneak through. Site 97 is a back in, pretty level, very small outdoor area, and down to the water all the way around. And yes, leaving on Sunday could be really complicated. And I think 98 is the last site. And actually, this is not a site. So we have one at the dump station, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in line behind them. Nice. And that concludes our ride through Dreher Island State Park. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend camping.